Hey, Vinyl community, it's David Michael. I'm filming this very early Friday morning. Usually I do my end of the week videos, usually later Friday night, or Saturday, after I've gone thrift store shopping Friday night. But I can't do that tonight. This is one of the rare Friday nights that I'm not going thrift store shopping for vinyl because I'm doing a podcast tonight at techwebcast.info, which I've done a video about already. So I can't go out tonight, but what I did is me and my wife went out last night, being Thursday nights, and it was a stroke of luck that we did because I had some incredibly, really cool finds. As you can tell, I have a little bit of a different vantage point today just to kind of mix things up a bit. So I'm hoping this is coming through okay. Anyways, cheers everyone. So I don't have a lot to show today, but what I have is definitely quality over quantity. So, like I said, we decided to go out last night and do the rounds, as opposed to tonight that I'll be busy. So, what I'm going to show you is, first of all, I'm going to start off with a find I had yesterday afternoon, I believe it was. The thrift stores in my area are playing with the prices again. Which they seem to do several times a year. What was once $1 or $1.99, they're bumping up to $4.99, and some ridiculous ones that are the same company, different locations of the city. Some of them are going up to $8.99 again for beat up Blondie albums. Happens a couple times a year, then they learn their lesson that no one buys them, and then they put them back to whatever their normal prices were, $1, $1.99. So, the next find, the first find I'm going to show you was a $4.99 find. But I'm not even complaining about that because I've gotten more than my $5 listening time out of this already in a day or two. This band I'm going to show you, I had posted on the YouTube Vinyl community. If you're a member on that Facebook page, you've seen this already. I only knew this band from the song Gloria, their cover of the Van Morrison Them song, Gloria. So I knew that band from that, but I was really kind of unaware of this album and any other work besides that. So this is a reissue that someone donated in really super nice condition, which it's not that infrequent, once again. And I'm not doing edits and I'm not refilming today. This is going to be one shot and one shot only, so you may get several mumbles today. It's not infrequent to find newer represses donated, as people who had gotten into vinyl a year or two ago are now kind of finding it's not for them and they donate their collection. So I'm going to get right to this, and I can't believe how awesomely good this album is. The Shadows of Night, Backdoor Men. I found this at a thrift store for $4.99. It's a reissue on Sundays. I'm playing it now. This is what you're listening to now. I'm not sure if the music is coming through the way I'm filming here, but the speakers are facing you. So I'm assuming that you can hear what's playing now. And like I said, I knew they were a garage band, late 60s, slightly psych influenced. I can definitely hear that in this album. This is probably the 5th time I've played this album, and I came right home and I had to play this album because I loved it so much. There's the back cover of it, and look at this cover, and tell me if you saw this in a thrift store bin or just in a used record bin at your local store, you wouldn't pick it up on cover alone. These are 5 badass looking guys, and you know they're making some good music. So that was my first find. I want to say it was yesterday afternoon. It might have been the day before, but it doesn't really matter when it was. Please, if you're into garage, and this isn't like a poppy garage album. This is like a hard-hitting, fuzzy, late 60s, psych-influenced trip of an album. And I cannot recommend this. If I had a rating system, one of those lame rating systems, this would be a 10 out of 10. The Shadows of Night, Backdoor Man. That was my first find of the week, and what a way to start the week off. I didn't really even go there expecting to find anything, and this was the sole thing that was there that was even remotely interesting. I'll get to my my thrift store finds from last night, but I gotta show you. if you're a regular viewer of my channel, you'll know that I am, like I always say, a complete cheap bastard. So when I happen to walk into a store and there's a price mistake, if there's a deal to be had for an album that I will be interested in, I will jump on it. So if you're Canadian, you'll know what I'm talking about, and I'm trying to think of equivalent stores in your country. In Canada, we have a chain of drugstores called London Drugs. If you're Canadian, you'll know what I'm talking about. The closest I could think of for the UK would be Boots. I've been to several Boots in London, and I can't think of a national drugstore in America it's not a drugstore. They sell everything. But the London Drugs in Canada, they sell kind of like medium to higher end stereo equipment, surprisingly nice equipment, and they also sell vinyl. Their vinyl, you know, it's your typical top 50 things that casual people would walk into: Metallica, Eagles, Rolling Stones, and that kind of stuff. But every now and again I walk in and there is a massive price mistake, and I used to feel guilty, but I don't feel guilty no more because it's their fuck ups. So this has been an album. Actually, it's been in my Amazon cart. I've picked it up many, many times at other stores, and I can't pull the trigger on paying, you know, most stores around my parts want $40 for this album. But I went into the London Drugs by my house, and they had mispriced it at $14.99. And I did a hop, skip, and a jump to the till because I was so happy that I got a copy of Stevie Ray Vaughan, the Essential Stevie Ray Vaughan double album. What's good about this is I have there's good and bad for this one. The good is that when you just can't decide on a Stevie Ray Vaughan album, and you say, I'm getting ready to go out, and I want to put some Stevie Ray on, I have the CD equivalent of this, which is kind of acted as my car CD for Stevie Ray Vaughan. The CD version of this obviously, this is a double vinyl. The double CD probably holds twice as many tracks as on this, but although the track listing they called tracks from the CD equivalent for this and cobbled together onto a double album, but they left lots out. So although you get the hits, you know, you get Love Struck Baby and Pride and Joy and Little Wing and The House Rockin', they left off a lot of really good stuff that I love the CD version of this for. They left off a version of Voodoo Child that I've talked about previously. That was recorded live at Carnegie Hall, which is probably the best version of that song I've ever heard in my life. And that's on the CD, and they left it off here. Probably because it's 10 minutes long, and they could fit 3 or 4 songs in that space on here. But so that's the disappointment. They left a lot of really good tracks off, but all in all, you can't complain what's on here. There's no filler on this one. So that was I love a pricing fuck up, and I caught them on a big one. I don't go in looking for it. I just go in browsing through the records. There's other things at that store I buy, but this just happened to be on their wall, and I saw the price, and it was, yep, mine. Essential Stevie Ray Vaughan double vinyl. That was a good deal. Okay, so I only got 3 things to show you from last night, but they are insanely awesome finds from last night. Me and my wife going around the thrift stores. Okay. I know I gave this rant a couple of videos ago, or last video, about original pressings, and that doesn't matter to me. These all happen to be original pressings, so if I say it, I'm not trying to contradict myself because, like you know, I just showed you 2 reissues. I'm just stating they're original pressings just to state fact. I don't know. Just to kind of be transparent about what I'm showing you. Regardless of all that, these are all original pressings, and I found these last night making the rounds. This was all at one thrift store. I took the cover off this one. The Allman Brothers Idlewild South I found. This is an upgrade copy. I think one of my very, very early videos, I showed a copy of this, which was very rough condition. This one, like I said, it's an original. This is their second album, by the way, after their self-titled masterpiece of an album, which I also have an original pressing of. But this is the original Atco label in Canada, the yellow Atco label. And it's absolutely, like, Stunning, beautiful, not a mark on it. From 1970, I believe. So yeah, I'm a late bloomer to the Allman Brothers. I know the hits, but it was a friend of mine, Tom, who's a really big fan, who really got me to listen to them, based upon his excitement for the band. So to find any really good condition early Allman Brothers is a score for me. So Idlewild South, the Allman Brothers, that was the first find. Next is an original pressing of Beck Bogart Appice. Little cover wear there. I don't care. It was thrift store prices. This is on the yellow Epic label. As you can see, not a mark on this one either. I know you can't. Well, you can kind of see that. Like I said, the only thing wrong with it is the cover has that little notch mark on it. I've never actually owned this album on vinyl before. I've never seen an original pressing before. I see later reissues. I've had this CD for quite a while, but like I said, to see an original copy at a thrift store, that's like, other than this right here, is an absolutely, wow, let's just say, you know, for the sake of being conservative, it's a VG++, if that's such a grade. And if it's not, I'm making it a grade today. So that was find number 2, and if you know about this album, then you know about this album. Beck, Bogart, Appice, if you don't know, it's Jeff Beck, Tim Bogart and Carmine Appice on drums. Just an absolutely incredible album from 1973, as I look, 1973. The old man has a little bit of memory retention left. So that was the second find at that store. And to me, this is the winner of my find of the night, and I always say this is one of my best finds of 2017. I've said that a few times. This has to rank up there already. An original American pressing, I believe it's American, of Humble Pie's self-titled 1970 album. If you know anything about Humble Pie, the original pressings of this album they can get up there. This was their original beautiful gatefold. This is their third album, I believe, from 1970. Am I right? I think I am right on that. As you can see, for those who don't know, Humble Pie is Steve Marriott. But right here is a very young Peter Frampton, who was a lot of you know, or some of you might not know, was a member of Humble Pie before he went solo. So this is I mean, an absolute incredible condition original A&M pressing. Not a mark on the vinyl. The cover, the fact that it was white had a little bit of dirt on it, but I got it mostly clean. And I must say, I'm very proud of the clean job I did on this, because I took a lot of time last night because I really wanted to baby this one. As when I saw this at a thrift store, I mean, yeah. So, let me show it one more time, because I'm very proud to own this album. I've never actually seen this album in my hands. I'm a big fan of the Humble Pie at Fillmore album. And I like Peter Frampton. I'm not afraid to admit that. I really like everything up to, and maybe the album after Frampton Comes Alive. What's it called? I'm Into You, I believe. Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. But like I said, an original North American, I think it's Canadian actually, pressing of Humble Pie's third album, self-titled, their first on A&M Records actually in North America. And what a beautiful cover too. Anyways, you could probably give two shits about Humble Pie, and I'm just wasting your time now. But an incredible album. This was the album where they kind of they turned the corner and they were kind of heavying up their sound a bit, priming themselves for the the lead up to that Fillmore album, and really with Steve Marriott and Peter Frampton just going on all cylinders. Humble Pie is probably one of those underrated bands that you have to have a listen to the early. If you want more of the rock sound, start with that one. And then Peter Frampton left not too long after. But Humble Pie, just one of those great bands that seems to have more of a cult following nowadays anyways. So, and those were my finds. The Humble Pie and the Shadows of Night are just, to me, I think if you add those two albums together for what I paid for them, it was $6-7 for both combined. So I mean, that was just an incredible score. There you go. Yeah, I don't know what else to do. I don't want to drag this on too long, but like I said, I'm on a podcast tonight, March 3rd, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can do the math. It'll be noon tomorrow in Australia as we do this. Apart from that, I have some really cool stuff coming. I think later today I might do a first look video on an album that I'm really passionate about, and there's a reissue supposed to be coming to my door in a few hours, and I might save that for later this weekend, but there's always stuff coming. Anyways, I'm going to end this video now, and I hope you enjoyed my thrift store finds, my pricing mistake vinyl I found, and like I said, that Shadows of Night album. Side one just finished playing. I'm going to play the other side as soon as I'm done this video, because it's such an incredible album. Alright, I'm going to end this here, and that's about it. So we'll see you again, and take care. David Michael from the Vinyl Community. Bye-bye.